All right, hello. We're gonna take an easier venture into getting JavaFX to work using Maven versus Ant. So when you go in here to a new project and you see that we have Ant, then Maven, and then Gradle. Ant, they're called build automation tools, and they're essentially what allows you to interface with the interpreter with the common language runtime of Java. So it kind of brings everything, it's build automation. It's when you run your program and it builds everything and loads it onto the interpreter, and carries out the instructions. So Ant is the actual very simplistic form of the build automation tool, and then Maven is the successor, and it's a little bit more advanced of a build automation tool. The most advanced and the recent one is the Gradle one. What we're going to do is instead of all the hard work of tying the library files to an Ant build, we're going to create a Maven project that embeds JavaFX into it. Now what this does is it makes it a little bit more cluttery. There's a lot more noise in your project. However, you can just ignore that noise and get along with creating your GUI. So we're going to go to Java with Maven. But down here, what we're going to choose is we're going to choose simple Maven. I'll check. This is all the way up to all the way back to version 16. You have this available to you for NetBeans. So we're going to go with a simple Maven archetype and Java with Maven. A simple JavaFX Maven archetype. You don't want the FXML. You want the simple JavaFX. And then I'm going to say next. And it's gonna get to, you're gonna probably ask to download and activate JavaFX. This is actually good that this is happening, so I'm gonna go ahead and install that, and then I'm gonna click finish. You may need to restart the IDE after you implement JavaFX for Windows. It looks like it's doing its thing. Okay, now it's getting into the project. So I'm going to hit cancel here, and just so we can get a fresh start, so that we're not having any kind of misunderstandings with what is what here. So I'm going to go to new project. That's after I auto implemented, downloaded and implemented the JavaFX plugin. Now I'm going to go ahead and click Simple JavaFX Maven. Next. Now this is where I'm going to choose the location. I'm going to put this on my desktop like I normally do. And then I'm going to give it a project name of my first FX. And then, this other stuff, you can just kind of this version control. You may want to put in an optional package name in here, because it's going to put that in as your default main package that your main program is going to be inside of. I'm going to leave it defaulted to now, but let's just take note of this package name, because you may want to actually change it to something a little bit more, a little bit friendlier. And then we're going to click finish. So it's going to go ahead and build, the project, and it's going to have a bunch of noise here. So we've got a bunch of things that we kind of really aren't going to be messing around with too much. It looks like it's taking my initial JDK install, but you see how it embedded the JavaFX inside of the project. Where we care about is that package name that we could have changed. And you see here under source packages, we have a package that we could have had a different name. And I would suggest that you guys give it a different name when you create your packages. But that's where all our code's going to be. System info is not too much of a thing. It's just version control. And that's actually kind of a good thing. But here's where you're going to actually be doing your stuff. This is where you're going to be writing your code. It's in app.java. And when you want to add a class, you're going to go to your package. And the main thing is that when you add a class, let's take, for example, an assignment where you got to build a ship class. So I'd go right here and I would say new Java class, and I would call it ship.java. And then that would be in my package namespace. I'd call that ship, and it would build it, class ship, here it is. And then I can go about my way. Here's where it put in the package default, our default package name, that I would suggest you name something that makes a little more sense than that. And so that's where all your code's going to be, is underneath that package name. And then, of course, when you get into actually dealing with the JavaFX, they've already got it started up for you here. I mean, and everything's kind of set up and ready for you to go, so you don't have to deal with any of the I'm not going to use inappropriate words right now, but I really do want to, because getting JavaFX to work with Ant is kind of a stinker. But this is just so simple, because you just grab a hold of it and build it and run it, and you can. And then here it is right there. And here's what's cool is version and control. I know that I'm working with JavaFX 13. You guys will probably be working with a newer one or an older one, whatever. And I'm using JDK 17 on this one. This is actually NetBeans version 20. So again, all the way back to NetBeans version 16, I saw that this menu option was available for you to use. So this is the direction I suggest you guys go in. Especially if the Ant instructions are a little bit on. Well, you know what? I'm probably just going to put this first as an update for instructions on getting JavaFX working. But that's it. You're ready to go. You're ready to start putting into your scene and showing your stage and having labels, buttons, and all that good stuff with your start function and your application inheritance. All right, guys, you're ready to roll. JavaFX made simple. Thank you.